There we go.
Welcome to the Launch Advantage Q&A. We
Take
are
two.
maybe about 15 minutes in and didn't press the record button. I'm so sorry. And this is the reason why you need to make sure you come live to these sessions. Exciting news. Jimmy has a launch coming up. It looks like it's going to be the 24th of June. He has a hot product in mind. We've just been nutting out the front end bump and the OTOs and what would be the best practice there. His launch, hopefully all of you can promote it. That would be great. Because it is on launch jacking, which is incredible. That's actually how I got started 5 years ago. And that's how I made my first sales as an affiliate.
It's
So
how Jono got started.
how
Um,
Johnny got started. It's how Trevor Carr got started. It's how Dan got started. Dan and what's his name? He's massive. They both shifted to Dubai and they're like $30 million later. Oh God, I forget his name. I really shouldn't forget his name. I mean, there's just so many. There's so many Jonas. Oh, Michael Tierney does review videos, but not launch jacking, but he does the review videos with the bonus stack. I mean, so does John and Dave. Does Wayne? I don't know. Wayne maybe has a different method. Never seen him do a review.
Wayne ain't too much into YouTube. I think he's starting to get into it.
Oh yeah, that's
Uh,
right. I
yeah.
saw a video. He lost his Facebook.
hmm
That yeah.
It's
But he has a great
the launch
attitude
jacking.
around it because obviously he's like, that's great because I was actually thinking about going to YouTube anyway.
Yeah. The launch jacking aspect of it is one side. You could also potentially have another module that could then cover how to pick out evergreen long-term offers that you build out similar sort of videos, but you can do review videos for things like Thrivecart or Go High Level or Aweber, Yeah.
Mhm.
GetResponse, etc. Any tool that you use where there's a recurring money in it of some sort, then there's probably an affiliate program and there's probably a recurring affiliate program. So there's launch jacking, which way is where you can cut your teeth. But if you get Uh-huh. good at it, why not go out and build out reviews for other long-term
Yeah.
evergreen products as well? Because the problem with launch jacking is a lot of the traffic will just be during the launch week or maybe
Yeah.
for a week or so after, depending on how popular the product is, how big the launch is, that can start tapering off quite quickly. So, I mean, it's a great way to get started
Right.
because the playing field's level because everybody's launching their videos just at the same time. But teaching people then in a separate module, again, an OTO, of how to then go on and review evergreen products and offers as well.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a great way of adding to it.
High
Yeah.
ticket, mid-range ticket, all that sort of
Mhm.
stuff, especially if you know the vendor and you can make sure that they can get access. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's great because that would be a very strong OTO. You want to make the OTOs like that people would just feel stupid not buying them. And that's the biggest lesson that I probably got recently on my launch with the auto high ticket cloaker. What happened was is that we had a full funnel already built, and 24 hours before the launch, we went, we've made a mistake here. 24 hours before the launch, I was like, I'd said to Tommy, I was like, Tommy, I'm really struggling with a headline for this OTO2, like, or this OTO1. OTO1 it was. I'm like, I've nailed the headline for OTO2, OTO3, the front end headline looking good. I've got a series. Uh, OTO1, I'm struggling with the headline there. And he's like, well, what's in the product? And then we started going through it and we were like, we need to talk to Robin Palmer because what's an OTO1 is an OTO2. Like, what's the difference here? And then we were like, oh my God, we don't have an OTO. We don't have an OTO1. I'm like, okay, quick. We're going to put OTO2 into OTO1 and just everything that was in OTO1 becomes part of OTO2. Not that there was really anything that was standalone. There kind of was, but there wasn't. It was too weak. It was too weak. So we made OTO1, OTO2. And then OTO2, we had to create an all new product. So we were like, it could either be this or it could be this. And I'm like, Robin, I need you to do 5 lives, show people how to do this, and then put the recordings in the members area afterwards. And we'll sell that for $97.
If you're short of an OTO, then teaching something in a live workshop of some form is a great way to do it because you're
Yeah.
delivering the content part by part
Yeah.
after the launch. So it gives you breathing space. So all you actually need in place is the copy and the sales page and some sort of thank you download page to say, right, this is the link to get signed up for the webinars or the workshop or whatever. So it can take a gives you a bit of breathing space if you need it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it was a complete rewrite of a sales letter. And also the whole funnel Warrior Plus had to be rebuilt because I had to delete out the old one, move things forward, check the buttons again. And then we literally did our final purchase test 3 minutes before we went live.
Keep you on
And
your
then
toes.
it was like, oh my God. And then we had a guy who was promoting, but he has a lot of bot clicks and stuff, and it made a mess of the stats. And then Tommy
That first 24 hours, keep an eye on the clicks that people
and
are
I had
sending.
said in the chat, but I don't think Tommy had read it, he'd missed it. And then he reduced the price. I was like, and then I went to sleep. I woke up, I was like, why is the price $12.97? It's meant to be $17.97. And then he said, oh, it wasn't converting, it was dead in the water. I'm like, it was. I'm like, let me just count it. And I was like, I counted how many sales sold at $17.97. And I counted how many sales, or like per hour, and how many sales were at $12.97, and it was 6 8. So it was like 8 sales at $17.97. I'm like, it's not the price. I'm like, I'm telling you. I said in the chat, it's this guy. I've spoken to him. And I'll speak to him again. And then he got to 2,000 hops and no sales. I was like, oh,
Or
I,
I'd have
I
switched it
kind of
off long
like
before then.
positioned it to him, like trying to get him to say, oh yeah, maybe I should stop mailing. I'm like, and then he said that. I was like,
I'd
oh,
have,
that would be great because we are in our beginning of our launch.
yeah, I'm afraid I would have switched him off before then.
Oh, I know, but I was trying to be delicate with it. So, yeah, but we did recover. We did recover. It does hurt the launch. It probably did
Yeah,
hurt the launch,
yeah.
but we did recover, and we're almost at 1,000 sales now. We probably have tipped over 1,000 sales, but yeah,
So
disaster.
Jim, by the sounds of it, you're talking with Catherine and someone else to make sure you're not stepping on each other's toes timing wise. Are you also
Yeah.
that? I mean, that's a really good thing. Have you got a private group where the three of you are just
We
comparing
do.
notes?
Yeah. We was in London together, first time we met. And so I came across this and I actually told them about the course creator. I said, I really liked it. And I got them to, get in on it. And so we talked about, we'll help each other out, we'll support each other. And then with y'all too, it can only get stronger. So that
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
Exactly.
we like that. So
Building your own private little group and working on it and working together with people because we all have different skill sets and
right.
between three of you, you're more likely to be able to cover those when something comes up.
Yeah,
So yeah, it just makes it easier.
it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Well done.
And we'll need to get Rona sorted out there too with someone.
Mhm.
So yeah, because she'd be a really strong person to
And
have.
I met Rona before too. I met her in
Right.
London too. So she's real nice. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Was
I'm just
was
real
that the
close
JB
with
Zoo?
Catherine. Huh?
Was that Wayne's thing in London?
That was Wayne's thing. Yeah. 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 So,
Brilliant. Brilliant. Cool. Any other questions you got there, Jimmy?
no, like someone put something together, download it for y'all to look at.
Yes.
Uh, and
Yes,
then,
please.
yeah. And then, y'all can tear it apart, and give me advice and stuff and tell me if I'm on the right track, wrong track, suggestions and stuff like that. Now that I got a tentative date, it kind of helps me focus a little bit more.
Yeah, worth
So
worth getting back in touch with Lou and seeing what he needs off you for the JV doc, to
yeah,
get that done as quickly as possible, because I know that you're the JV manager's itching to get on it.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to him again. I'll get on Teams and shoot him a message, tell him because I think he was just waiting for some Wayne's input on what we talked about because he wasn't on the live.
Yeah, I caught up with Wayne and Lou earlier today.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get that ironed out and get going, get the JV doc so I can get it up on Munzai and go from there.
Awesome.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Mhm.
My tip to you when putting it on Muncheye is to make sure that often I'll make the name a little bit shorter so that, especially if you're giving 100% commissions, make sure that 100% is visible in the little thing.
Yeah.
Because people often
Kind of gets people's
yeah,
attention,
these
right?
little
Yes.
things. I get
Yeah.
so like obsessed with these little things.
Well, it's every little 1% adds up, doesn't it? That's one of Stephen Bartlett's things about making 1% improvements.
Yeah.
If you do that every step of the way, I think it was the British cycling team that were concentrated on tiny little improvements. And
Mhm.
over time, by
Okay.
celebrating those and fixing those tiny little things, they just became such an incredible, was it maybe not the British Sky cycling, one of the cycling teams. Sometimes it's not the big things,
No.
consistent little improvements
Mm.
Well,
gets
it's
big
easier to
results.
fix the little things and be more consistent than try to bite too much and get nothing done. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other point there is when you do fix something, celebrate the win.
yeah.
Take a moment to go, yes, done it,
Yeah.
because that reinforces your positive attitude towards doing those fixes and making
Yeah.
those
It
changes.
motivates you to do the next one, kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Sounds good.
always.
And you really want to have your next launch in July, the
Hmm.
JV page and everything ready to go before your launch on with Wayne, because you will want to not only give the date of your next launch to everybody who came to this launch, you
Hmm.
want to give them the JV page.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
then you know
that's my
you're
plan.
organized, it's confirmed, you have a
Yeah.
solid product. It's great. It's on email marketing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, good. That's good advice. Because I already got it mapped out, funneled out. I just got to get a little more of the details on the second launch. So I'm gonna get this one, then I'm gonna start concentrating on that one. But they'll get the JV page beforehand. That's a good idea to go ahead and get it before this
Yeah,
launch.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Because it'll encourage people, affiliates who came to this launch that did well on it, that made money from it, to put it straight into their calendar. And that's what
Yeah.
you
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'll definitely do that. So the JV page needs to be about a month out, right?
Well, it's a good idea to have it because you are fairly fresh and new. It would be advisable at your point in your journey to have it
Mm.
ready. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Matt's got some out till December of this year, don't you, Matt? So I see
I have
his.
to rework my list at the moment, but yeah, I've normally got it planned for 6 to 9 months ahead,
Yeah,
just so that I know what I'm doing.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I
hear you.
find it much easier if I've got long-term dates in mind. It
Hmm.
just makes it easier to focus on what you're doing and move forward.
Mm.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not you're
I'm
not
the same
floating
way.
along.
Yeah, it kind of gives me something to go towards, a guide
Mm.
to go for. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
I
I
don't,
mean,
I drift. Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Why
mine
don't you-
changes all the while, but at least I've got something that is there to change rather than having
Yeah.
nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So one of the other things that last year things didn't go as well for me as I'd hoped, because I had one particular client who I was working with who um, basically they kept delaying their launch,
Hmm.
and I let them get away with it to the
Mm.
extent that I wasn't filling in that time with something else. There was other stuff going on in my life where I'd taken my eye off the goal, as it were. And because I let them just float along and keep delaying, keep delaying, keep delaying, I lost 4 or 5 months worth of extra income that I could have had from launching with other people or doing my own thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't have dates in mind for 3, 6, 9 months, then something like that, it's easier for it to happen. You know, if
Yeah.
you've got that plan ahead of where you need to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, if someone is messing you around, it becomes obvious really quickly that you need to fix it rather than just letting it become a problem.
Yeah.
There we go. I will point out the particular people involved. I don't think they were doing it intentionally. They were just updating the software, and well, they still haven't launched it, so they now have to find someone else to help them.
A bunch of bugs in it they was trying to
Oh,
work
they
out.
decided to redevelop it entirely, which was not what needed to be done, because they should have just got on and done the launch and redevelop it afterwards. But
yeah, and then they could have just like sent the message to all of their buyers, upgraded, we've made this better, we've made this better.
Right, yeah.
Oh gosh, that's where perfection is killed. Yeah, you can't wait for things to be perfect. The members area and everything, the product is never going to be perfect.
Right, yeah.
It's never going to be perfect. All right, Jimmy, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming along, and congratulations on your 2 launches that are coming up. Super excited to support you in any way that we can there.
All right, good.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
And yeah, send the info over for us as soon as you can so we can get on with that.
I will. I sure will.
Awesome.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.